Hello and welcome to another installment of Slammin Synapses right here on Facebook and YouTube. Once again, this installment will be submitted for possible inclusion on pwextra.com, sister site to pwinsider.com and pwinsiderelite.com. All three are very good sites to me if it's to be heard, or if you need a source for reliable information. That's definitely the place to go. All other sites are secondary in nature with regards to that. So, a bunch of great guys there. If you are viewing me through there, support them through the pwinsiderelite.com site. Paid site, lots of good information, lots of good video, lots of good audio. I've mentioned this before, and it's always going to be worth mentioning again. If you're viewing me through YouTube, you'll see a subscribe button somewhere over here. Be sure to click on it, keep up to date with me. Like I say, if you're visiting me through a phone, which I have a wonderful iPhone 4, which I tend to view my YouTube and stuff through. There is a subscribe button that you could click on to keep up to date that way. So anything that I post that's new, you'll see it right there. Schedule is getting such that I am able to do these once a week, so I may try to stay with that schedule. Like I said, I gave up making promises because schedule was just kind of funky. So, but I'm gonna try to come at you at least once a week. At least this is gonna keep me on key. This is gonna keep you guys interested, because it's not like, oh, he's making this and the next installment probably won't be for another month or two. I'm gonna try to come at you every week, so not only do you have something to look forward to, but my hope is to build an audience. To me, if one person views it, it's all that matters. It's just, if we have more people, more power to you. But so yeah, if you like what you see, tell a friend, tell 30, embed this video somewhere on your page, wherever you can, and get the word out so they can enjoy it as much as you do yourself. Now that we've gotten the business out of the way, which seems to be a lot, probably try to find ways to streamline this, but it's business that had to be done anyway. So now that we got that out of the way, we'll go over some topics here. First one, if you've seen my special edition Slammin Synapses, which was done this past Monday after Raw, I didn't promote it that well. It just did it one shot, threw it out there. If you saw it, I appreciate that. If you didn't, check out my archives for that. But we're going to go into the CM Punk angle that ended Raw this past Monday. As I was saying at the time, it was truthful. It was honest for the most part. It pretty much put everything out there, and was something that hadn't been seen on WWE in quite some time. I have never seen anything, like I said, at that time, in such a long time, on WWE that had some sort of grit, that had some sort of passion, that had some sort of fire behind it. And I sense that with this one, it's going to continue to build towards the pay-per-view. It would kill it if they decided to inject some type of comedy in it, which they usually do, which I mentioned was the case for someone like R-Truth or other angles of that nature, where they get so serious, but then for that 1 week they go crazy. They think that something has to be funny, and they do something and it kills it. But with the energy, with the intensity that this had, it would really not be in their best interest, even though CM Punk is leaving, to throw some sort of comedy or nyuk bit in there, because that would just kill any interest that has been had there for not only upcoming shows, but also their Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is headlined by one of many things, with John Cena versus CM Punk, and CM Punk's last match. Excuse me. Coming off something here. But yeah, it was the most grittiest promo that I've seen in quite a long time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It grabbed my attention. I looked at it about 2 or 3 more times after that. Probably will watch it more afterwards. But it definitely made its mark and definitely did what it was supposed to do. And that's promote the upcoming event, because it's like, I'm leaving here with the title. It's like, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm coming into Money in the Bank. I'm leaving with the title. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. That kind of energy works. That kind of fire works. That kind of passion works that sells things. That it's not all this other stuff, all this fluff stuff. It's the gritty stuff that sells the stuff more. I mean, granted, you could give me Santino with the little and the little dancey thing, but I mean, there's actually spots for that. I mean, there's always been some comedy spots in wrestling, but you shouldn't sacrifice a hot angle just for a moment of nyuk nyuk nyuk, because it kills everything, kills the interest. But this one, I hope it keeps the intensity enough to the pay-per-view so people will actually want to watch it and say, hey, if CM Punk's leaving, or if he's staying, he just put himself in a bracket where not many people have been known to reach. I mean, the comparisons can be made to someone like Steve Austin, who was the ringmaster, who at the King of the Ring, after he beat Jake the Snake Roberts, came in and said, talk about your Psalms, talk about your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. And in that one promo, in that short amount of time, he took himself from being ringmaster to Steve Austin, to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then his match with Bret Hart brought him a bit higher. That's how it works. That's the nature of the business. That's how it should be. You should want to be able to. You should want to see what's going to happen. You shouldn't be turned off by anything. You shouldn't be swayed or thrown in a different angle for that nyuk nyuk factor. It's like, if it's serious, it should be serious until the event happens, until the match happens. And I myself am definitely going to be watching WWE to see what happens next in the CM Punk angle, because we know this is over. We know what's going on right now is shoot, but it's also an angle to build up to the pay-per-view, and that's the way it should be. Future, I'm going to talk about a match between Ron Garvin and Tully Blanchard, which kind of ties into what I'm saying here, so keep tuned for that. Jumping to my next topic, something that I mentioned a segment or two ago, I'm going to talk about a man who I definitely enjoyed watching when watching wrestling growing up. He made his mark in the UWF, made his mark in Mid-South, made his mark in World Class, pretty much made his mark everywhere, to where he was definitely a #1 contender for the Heavyweight Championship in going in matches against Ric Flair. And that man is Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, pretty much the ongoing thread of my past installments lately have been how things get booked, how things get written, how things go. My viewpoint is always going to be on the creative, how you get booked side, as opposed to other things. So here's Terry Taylor, North American Heavyweight Champion, #1 contender to Ric Flair, having possible matches of the year every year, and being the best at what he could do. Signs up with WWF. They put him in this little red hair thing, put his hair up, put him with Bobby Heenan, call him the Red Rooster, put him in this, like, okay, I gotta work my way up role that took him from here and brought him down to here. Now granted, they did the same with Dusty Rhodes with the polka dots. It's like, he can never get this over, but he did. He took it and ran with it. Now Terry Taylor with the Rooster, he came out there, he saw the angle, like, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, and all my Rooster boosters out there, and I'm gonna sink my claws into you, and it killed it. It killed Terry Taylor. Other places, it's like, he was very scientific. He was a good technician. It's like, if you ever wanted to watch a great match, if Terry Taylor was in it, you knew you were in for a good match. You knew you were in for a good show. You knew you were in for one of the best doing what he does. But then he comes in and becomes a Rooster. Now, granted, at that time there was all sorts of funny gimmicks in the WWE. There was a hog farmer, there was a trash person, there was Fire Ferguson, there was Bastion Booger, there was... It was just nyuk type things. Just goofy characters in goofy outfits. And at that time, for them to take Terry Taylor to come in, I should say, and get dropped in the middle of that was actually a disservice to him, because all those years of being the best, of being the #1 contender, to someone that you could watch and enjoy and get into, all gets killed when you take him. You put a little red thing in his hair. Like I say, you have him come out, talk about his rooster boosters and cock-a-doodle-doo and all this other stuff. It took Terry Taylor, killed it. Never was the same since. I mean, granted, he did go to WCW. There was that whole York Foundation thing. Him, Richard Morton, Thomas Rich, Michael Wall Street. Although I think Michael Wall Street was gone by the time Terry Taylor came in. But it was never the same. Now, if I were to armchair book, I'd say, okay, Terry Taylor's gone from TNA. You set up this thing on WWE if he's ever welcome back, where you have one of your top guys come out, and I'm not sure if Terry Taylor even has a match or two left in him. But armchair booking, you say, okay, I'll take on anyone in the world, and I'll take on anyone in the back, throwing out an open challenge, and all of a sudden he comes out. Rooster music plays, he comes out. People look at him, it's like, oh, that's the Red Rooster. People think about, some people don't remember his days before. People only get stuck in the Red Rooster days, like, oh, that's the Red Rooster. What's he gonna do? He didn't win many matches when he was here. What makes him think he's gonna be anything special? So then they have the match, and he's like going to town. He's showing the world what the technician that he was, showing the world that, yeah, I'm Terry Taylor, and I'm here for you. And he goes over, crowd goes crazy, and it's like, wow, it's like that Red Rooster thing just gets lifted. And if it stays on him, then it's like, oh man, that's the guy that was in here before. And you redeem him that way. You give him that redemption to say, hey, I'm not this Rooster character. I'm Terry Taylor. I'm a wrestler. Well, they don't say wrestler anymore in WWE, but you get the point. It's like, I'm this great technician in the world. I'm the best at what I do. And you could respect that. So that years from now, when they talk about Terry Taylor, it's held in a high esteem and a high respect, as opposed to, oh, that was just that Red Rooster character. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed watching Terry Taylor growing up, and I only hope that he would have gotten his due in wrestling, to where he's remembered for what he's done in other federations, as opposed to the bird person, the Red Rooster character, which a lot of people know him for, which for the most part is accurate, but on the other hand is not. So if I were to armchair book, I'd bring Terry Taylor back, put him over in a big way, let him go out on top, and then you hire him as an agent for you. Just got let go from TNA. You have someone there that knows the business, knows how to handle things. You could bring him in. He could be an agent for the road and teach the next generation what being someone like Terry Taylor is about. Third topic. Excuse me. Excuse me. Coming off something. Third topic. It's always going to be my thing to push independent wrestling. It's always going to be my thing. Granted, around here lately, there's been shows that I've missed due to like scheduling and other conflicts. But when shows were around here, I've tried to keep up with them. I've tried to go. I've tried to support independent wrestling because, like I've said in other installments, it's where you go to see people before they become something. Myself, most of you are aware. If you're not, you're going to know now. I used to ring announce for a federation called SCW, Scott County Wrestling. I also ring announced for AAW. It's a federation that has people like Silas Young, Tyler Black, Seth Collins passed through there. Jerry Lynn went there, Motor City Machine Guns, Jerry Lynn, Zero Gravity, the Awesome Threesome, Keith Walker, Eric Cannon, name Shane Hollister. I can name names till I'm blue in the face, but it's places like that where the next generation started up. Myself, I am very proud to say that I saw Seth Collins, or is it Seth Rollins? I forget. I'm so used to calling him Tyler Black that calling him Seth Rollins or Collins keeps getting mixed up in my head. But yeah, it makes me so proud that I saw him start off in SCW and got built up to a point as he learned more to where he's working for WWE. He's currently in FCW, but he's working to get to that very next level. I mean, he was the ROH Heavyweight Champion. He was the AAW Heavyweight Champion, the SCW Heavyweight Champion, Midwest Tag Team Champion. He's held many, many titles. Like I said, I'm proud to say that I saw him work his way up the ranks, and that was because of independent wrestling. Saw people before there were people. I'm gonna take this time on that framework of discussion to thank one person. Although granted, people in SCW, people in AAW, they allowed me to keep doing what I wanted to do there, and that was ring announce, to get in the business, to work for a wrestling federation, and fulfill my dream. Not many people could say they did that. So that if I never do it again, I can never complain or feel any regrets because I was allowed to do what I wanted to do. But one person that I want to thank is a guy by the name of Chris Lauritsen. Now, I, a long time ago, ran an online radio station, and they were just making their way up. I would go watch WWE pay-per-views at a blast area. They were promoting their show. I brought up my radio station to Chris, and he listened to it for a bit. We started talking. We started bonding. We started having a friendship. He told me more about the place, and one day I just started to become more and more involved. Did the ring crew, put the ring up, took it down, set up chairs, took it down. I mean, basically, starting this off, no one asked me, no one came to me, no one said, hey, why don't you go do that? No, I just kind of jumped in there. Just jumped in there and started taking things down because that's how our friendship went, that I wanted to help him out, help the place where he worked out to do their stuff. So as a result, before shows I set it up, after the shows I took it down. Being on a ring crew is very interesting because you usually have like 10 to 12 guys, usually some of them the wrestlers, usually some of them friends or family, whatever, coming out, putting the ring up. In if it's winter and you had your ring like stored someplace where it's like really cold, the padding can be very hard. So that was always interesting, but that was the fun part. Taking it up, putting it down. I didn't get paid a dime for this. I didn't get paid for this. I guess payment was watching the show, but I didn't get paid for this. But it didn't matter because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed every moment, every little aspect of it, that I gave my time freely. And I enjoyed that. That's what independent wrestling did for me. That's what it gave to me. It gives these guys an opportunity to be something. It gave most guys the chance to fulfill their dream. It gives most guys the chance to work their way up to where TNA or WWE hires them, to where like a New Japan or an ROH or just federations want to sign them. And if it weren't for Chris Lawrence and bringing me in, if it wasn't for him telling me about the product, it's like I never would have got into it, never would have known they would have existed. I would have kept having this dream to be in wrestling, kept having this dream to be a ring announcer that was unfulfilled. But because it was there, because it gave people a chance, it allows the business to thrive. Now, granted, there are places out there that just say that they're wrestling just to say that they're wrestling. But then there are those out there that want to entertain, that want to give the public the best that they can. I mean, granted, they probably seat like 50, 100 on good days. Like with us, a great show for us was like 250 or 300. But there are federations out there that have guys in there you've never heard of, that you've never seen, wanting to get to that next step, to be the best of what they can do, starting off in independent wrestling. So that will always be my battle cry from time to time through these installments. Give independent wrestling a shot. If you see a show in your area, go to it. Take it in. It's like spend the money. If you like it, you go back. If you don't like it, at least you supported them for that brief moment. At least you got some cheap entertainment for a while. You just might make a few friends. I've made a lot of friends through SCW and AAW. You never know. So if there's ever an independent wrestling show near you, wherever you are, check them out. Just take 3 hours out of your day or a night whenever they run a show and just sit there and watch and marvel and take everything in. Granted, there's not the pyro, there's not the fireworks, there's not all this pomp and circumstance. But you know, to be honest, when it boils down to its root concept, it's all about two guys getting into one ring, settling their differences because they have an issue going on. It's not my pyro is bigger than yours or my music is louder than yours. It's I'm here to take you on, and when the night's over, you are going to be watching the lights. And I am going to walk out with a little bit more money in hand, a little bit more prestige, and depending on the match, the heavyweight championship. So check out an independent wrestling event when it comes near you. So, I'm going to wrap this segment up. I know I went a little bit long here, and if you're still watching me, I do thank you. If it weren't for you guys, there would be no me, as it would just be me talking to a webcam, and that has a little bit of issue behind it if it's just you and the webcam. So, next time you hear me, I won't have this cough. So, if you want to drop me a comment, if you want to if you want to tell me how you felt about this segment or previous ones, drop me a line. You could leave me, if you're on YouTube, there's a comment link down here. By all means, fill that in. If you want to send me an email, you could do so at agurrier at yahoo.com. If you like what you see, like if you're viewing me through Facebook, embed me. Share me. Say, hey, check this out. If you like it, tell 30 more people. And I would definitely appreciate that. So for Slammin' Synapses, this is Albert Guerrier saying so long, peace, love you, and we're out of here. Good night, everybody.